All right. Hello, bosses. Hello, hello. So, today we are talking about how you can get started in real estate with minimum risk. Now, this is a strategy my husband and I use to get in real estate to kind of start. And I think this is a great way for anybody that wants to get in real estate and want to kind of learn the nuances of purchasing, looking for homes, getting pre qualified, like going through the whole process. And one of the things that I can say is that whether you are purchasing your first home or your first investment property is very similar in the process. And so today I just want to really just hone in for those that a little more adverse, right? So some investors may want to be able to just start small, and usually with a single family, or hey, I just want to find a way that will allow for me to minimize my risk, but still allow me to at least learn more about real estate as a whole. So today we're going to kind of get into that. We're going to go straight in, you guys. So this is first we're going to start with our renters, right? Now, one of the things that I know, there's this thing like people will rather rent for the rest of their life, but I'm telling you, renters, home ownership is, I'm a very big advocate for it, because your money that you're paying into that property, you're able to recoup it after a certain amount of years. And that's how you're able to really take advantage of equity. You can't do that if you're renting for 10, 20 years. After 10, 20 years, 30 years, you own your home free and clear. That's why I'm a big advocate for home ownership. Okay. Now, I want y'all to also understand, a lot of people that own their homes, it's a part of their net worth, right? So, you know how they said there's a lot of people out here with $1 million net worths? What a part of that net worth is their actual primary residence. Okay. So, because they purchased their primary residence years ago, because of the beautiful thing of appreciation, they have been able to, over, like I said, the last 20, 30 years, pay off that mortgage and be able to reap the benefits of having to have their home. And so the great thing about home ownership is that there's so many benefits that you can be able to experience from owning a home. All right. So I'm off my soapbox. Let's get started. My renters, if you're currently renting, all right, and you want to purchase your first home, there are programs out there, not just down payment assistance programs, but there's programs out there that can still give you 100% financing for your first home, okay, or your second home, right? So with that, you already know the programs. I'm not going to go in all the way into the programs, but one of those couple programs is USDA and FHA. Now, my particular lenders, they do 100% FHA financing, which is a part of that down payment assistance program. But we already know, like I said, I'm not going to go into the programs today, but you can be able to purchase your home for 100% financing, even if you're not even VA. Another way that you can really get into, let's say you don't have the ability to do 100% financing, FHA is a great way for you to be able to get in there, because you can have as little as 3.5% down payment. Now, keep in mind, this don't include closing costs. Okay. That's a whole nother thing. And we'll go into what that looks like in terms of getting prep for your home ownership on another call, on another live. We'll be happily be able to explain that to you. But this allows for you to be able to get into home ownership and start your real estate investing journey. Now, when it comes to building your properties, I mean, your portfolio, and you're starting out by owning your own home first, please let me tell you, they are going to consider your income. That's the basis of home ownership, okay? Especially when you're buying for yourself. And this is why I'm always harping on making sure your credit score is as good as it can be, making sure you really have your own financial management together, because buying a house is a big investment. Not only when you put down that down payment and paying no closing costs, but even after that, you got maintenance, you got just keeping up with that property, right? So that it can appreciate over time. Because if you don't, baby, I promise you, you will not be able to really reap the benefits of your home value increasing if you're not taking care of that home. So it's very important that I'm always going to be an advocate for getting your credit together, making sure it's top notch, and really understanding your finances, because you can become house poor. You can become, I'm gonna say that again. You can become house poor. Okay. And that's the last thing you want to do, especially if you're using your personal property as a way to start building your real estate portfolio. All right. So, also, your credit and your income is going to determine your buying power. Right. So this is why like I said, I harp on knowing your credit and your finances, because this is really going to determine how much house you can buy. All right. So if you have high debt, right, and you have a lot of your income going out to credit, that's going to increase your buying power. But the great thing about that is that's fixable. All right. It's not the end of the world. It's very fixable. In 90 days, you can change your situation. In 30 days, in 60 days, you can change your position. Okay. So it's not the end of the world. Now, here's the thing. When you buy that house, you live in it for 1 to 2 years. Okay. You can live in it for 1 to 2 years and then go buy another one. All right. Use the FHA program, use a conventional loan. You can go and do that. And you can repeat this yearly or every 2 years for the next 10 years and have a bulk of properties that you now have that allows for you to now realize that you have a real estate portfolio. Okay. And so that's just the simplest way, if you looking to, if anything, buy your own house for yourself, okay, to live in and to understand the process. That's one of the ways that you can be able to start building your real estate portfolio. My husband and I, that's how we started. We had a bad experience with our first house. So I'm not going to tell you every experience is a great experience. I'm not going to tell you that. But it was definitely a learning experience for us. And just knowing that, we, looking back, hindsight, we wish we wouldn't have sold that house, right? Because that was us giving away our wealth that now we could have been able to do so many things and leveraging it. So I'm going to get on that a little later. So let's say you say, I don't want to own nothing, right? Tashana, I just don't want to do it. I like renting. I like the freedom, whatever it is, whatever you decide. So conventional, right? They now have your ability that you can be able to own a home at 5% down. Okay. This is conventional, 5% down. But like I said, they're still going to take into account your income, your credit. And so this is a way for you to be able to still buy in with minimum risk. Okay. So conventional, just open it up. And if y'all know, conventional, you got to have at least a 620 credit score. Okay. And let me just do a disclaimer. NMLS license number 1324774. This is not a commitment to lend. Okay. This is not a commitment to lend at all. Everything is subject to approval based on credit, income, appraisal, and qualifying factors. Okay. But you have to have a minimum of a 5% score. Now, what I like that conventional has done this is because this is considered a traditional product. This is something that before FHA don't allow you to buy investment properties, y'all. So you can only buy your first or your second property with FHA. USDA, you can only buy primary residence. Okay. But conventional was the same. You can only buy your primary or secondary. And they just recently opened it up so that you can buy investment properties as well with 5%, as little as 5% down. Now, I like this because for those that may not have a lot of capital to put down to purchase their first home, this is a great way for you to get started with investing. But y'all already know, if you're at the bare minimum, you're going to get some of the worst. Them rates is not going to be rating. Okay. You're not going to get the best. And I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. The better your score, the better your rates. Just like if you were going to go buy a car, it's the same thing. The better your score, the better your rates you're going to have, and the more open you get in terms of purchasing power, because it's going to cost you less to purchase that property. All right. So if you don't want to own a home, you can be able to still get started with as little as 5% down. Now, I want to talk to my investors. Okay. Hey, I'm ready to do this thing. Right now, the only difference is, if you were to go the conventional route, they're not going to give you the money to renovate. Okay. That's the difference. That is the biggest difference. They are in the acquisition part. Okay. So they will allow for you to acquire it, but they're not going to fix it up. Now, commercial, you can be able, so as little as, depending on your score, there are the ability for you to get up to 100% financing. This, my friend, look, when you can get 100% of your renovation costs factored in, and you don't have to worry about it, right? You can go straight into being a real estate investor. Okay. And you can acquire that property. Yes, it's going to be more down, but if you know your numbers, and this is why financial management is important, knowing your numbers, because you may know how to count 1, 2, 3, but when it comes to really being able to see, is this property going to make me money? You got to be able to assess, if I'm renovating this property and acquiring it, how much am I going to be able to make off this property? So that's a whole nother game. I'm telling y'all, we can do a live on that as well if you want to. Now, with investment properties, your score has to be higher. Some lenders require at least a 660. Some require 680, some require 700 plus, right? Especially, and they do look at your score, but that's not always the factor. And the great thing about investment properties, when you go on the commercial route, they don't look at your income. They look at the sale of the property, and do you have enough capital to cover this investment while you're making your investments? Or do you have a renter to put in place that's going to make this mortgage payment? So they're not necessarily looking at your income, but they may factor in your experience and your credit score. This is why, my friend, even if you want to get business funding, your score matters. Okay. It matters. If you want to be able to make moves out here, I'm going to say it to the day I die. Cash is king, but credit is queen, baby. We got to be out here playing chess, not checkers. Okay. And that's the thing that you got to understand. You can have the capital and the credit, and that's how you're going to be able to win. So if you want to go straight into investing, that's a great way for you to be able to cover your renovation costs. You need at least a 660. All right. Now, my homeowners, if you already own a home, baby, you already a step ahead, right? Because this is the way that I want you to understand. Okay. So I'm going to break this down to you. And I had this broken down to me years ago when I first started. When I first started my career, it was actually as a financial manager, where we were helping veterans like lieutenants, sergeants, colonels that were in the Army be able to restructure their financial plans for retirement. And we use their home as that leverage. And we show them how they can be able to pay that down in half that time. Now, knowing this strategy, it has allowed for us to be able to pay down a lot of our properties sooner. And this is the great thing, because now you can leverage the equity in your home. So now I'm talking to my homeowners out there. You can be able to minimize your risk by leveraging your equity that's in your home. So what is the equity in your home? That's going to be what your house appraises for minus what you owe. You can be able to take a percentage of that and be able to use that tax-free cash to start investing. So here's what I mean. Let's say your house is worth $350,000, right? And let's say you've been paying on it and you got that mug down to $150,000. Okay. So that's $200,000 in equity. 350,000 minus 150,000. That's $200,000 in equity. You can take a percentage of that. So let's use the 70% equity. Okay. So I'm just keeping it simple, y'all. This is as simple as we can keep it. All right. Let me open a doc so I can show y'all so y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. So let me open it up and I'm gonna share my screen with you. Okay, let's share my screen. Okay, what is all this? Come on, I don't know. Okay, equity. All right, I don't know this thing talking about a tab. Okay, let me share my screen with you. Okay. Oh, we aren't trying to invite guests. We just want to share the screen. Okay. Now, let's go in here. So let's say the equity in your home. Let's make this big, y'all. Let's make it big. Okay, the equity in your home, let's say it's 350,000. Why is it not typing? Okay. This is the value of your home. Okay. It's 350,000. And let's say your balance right now is 150,000. This is the balance, right, of your home. Now, minus all of that, that leaves you with 200,000. This is basic math, y'all, and I know y'all got this. Okay, 200,000. Now, you can only take a percentage of that. Even now, if you're VA, you can take, the most percentage, but we're only going to do 70%. Okay, so 70% is what? Y'all, I got to do some math. Hold on. 200,000. Okay, we're going to times it by 70%. That's $140,000. Okay, 140,000. $140,000. That's what you can be able to have. This is tax-free cash available to you as a home owner. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I know you're saying, well, Tashana, I don't want to be paying another mortgage payment, right? This tax-free cash of $140,000 is not for you to go and do what you want with it. This $140,000 is for you to go create tax income generating assets. Okay. So let's say you do that, and we're going to say 140,000. Okay. You don't have to do this amount. This is just an example. Okay. So that's $290,000. Now you may be saying, well, I like my mortgage is about paid off. This is about half paid off, right? Or let's just say your house you bought in a great neighborhood and it just skyrocketed. So your new mortgage, this will be your new mortgage, right? And let's say you were able to still have a good score. So usually if you're in the 700s, or I always say 700s, but let's just say you're mid, right? 660. Let's say you're mid, 660. So this is just for illustration purposes. This is not based on anything, okay? Illustrative purposes only. I am not using this based on anybody personally, okay? So the lower your score, or the lower you are to the minimum of that program, the higher your rate is going to be, which means that, let's say if you're at a 660 and the program starts at a 660, well, you're going to have a higher rate. Okay. That's just how it works. When you have a 700 plus, then you're going to see that range that you really want to see of the 5s, of the 6s, or even the 4s, depending on the program. Okay. Now, like I said, we're not going to punch this in or anything. Okay. Now, let's just say this is your new mortgage. But let's say you just acquired a rental property. And now that rental property is netting you. All right. So we're going to say that rental property is netting you, let's say $750 per month. Right? Net. That means that this rental property is paying its own mortgage. Right? The renter is paying this property. The renter is paying the mortgage. Now, you can take this extra 750 and you say, hey, I'm just making an extra 750. You can either take a portion of this and apply it to your new mortgage to start hacking at your loan again, or you can be able to split it and attack both of them, or just have $750 a month coming in. But let's just say this new mortgage, you use it to pay off debt, and then you use a portion of that, right? So if your debt, let's say your debt was $900 per month, right? And you use this tax-free cash, right? Because you're telling the lender, hey, I'm gonna refinance my house. I want to pay off some debt, and I'm going to use the rest of this money to invest and to be able to save for retirement. They ask you, just tell them the truth. What you going to do with the money? Especially it's your money, it's your house. They can't tell you like, oh no, we can't let you pay off debt. You can leverage that. So let's say now, because you use this to pay off debt, you're no longer paying $900. Let's punch in some numbers because I know some people like to see it, right? Let's pull up a calculator. Okay. We're going to pull up a mortgage calculator. I wasn't trying to go this far in, but I feel like it's needed. If y'all got any questions, just put them in the chat. Okay. Just put it in the chat. All right. So we're going to just pull up a mortgage calculator. We're going to include the tax insurance. We're going to make sure this thing is right. Okay. So 150,000. Let's say that's what you got. Okay. You're not putting anything down. This is zero. We just need to know. And let's just say you're at a 4%, because I know a lot of people are refinanced, right? 660. All right. Now let me show you, share this tab. All right. So let's just say you have your payment, right? So you got 150,000. You done pay down your house. Right? They're adding the property taxes, home insurance, all of that. So let's just say you're now paying $1,040. You're also paying $900 for all of your debt. This is what's on your credit. Okay. So that brings it to $1,940,000. Now you decide, hey, I'm going to use my house to pay off debt and start investing. Now let's put in the new mortgage payment here. What we said, $290. And let's just say is now at 4%. Now, $2,011. Okay? $2,011. Let's say this is your new mortgage payment. Now, if we think about this, you may say, Tashana, my payment just went up. Okay, 2011 minus 1940. All right, so your payment went up $71. All right, so stay with me. I know you're like, girl, that don't even sound right. Listen. All right, we're still using a 4. Not now. Let's make this more comparable. Okay, let's do 5. We'll do 5. 2183. Okay. I'm going to do 5. We're going to do 5. Y'all want to do 6? Let's make it even worse. We're going to do 6. This is worst case. 2,365. And you like, well, Tashana, why would I do that when my mortgage and my debt is lower? And now I'm paying, because this is the conversation that I know you're going to have with yourself. I'm paying an extra $425 on this mortgage. No, you're not. No, you're not. Right? So we canceled the debt. We got rid of that. But your rental property is netting you $750. So we said worst case, two, three, this is your new mortgage payment, right? Now, you just bought a house. And let's just say you use 20,000 of that to pay it off, right? 20,000 went towards debt. You still have $120,000 available. Now, are you really going to spend $120,000 on one rental? No, you're going to get multiples, right? You're not going to spend the whole 120,000. So your new mortgage payment, right? Let's say this is your new mortgage payment, but you just got your netting $750. Okay, so what is that? If your net income, right, from rental, what is that, y'all? What is that? I don't have my calculator on me. Let's do the math. Let me do the math. All right, we got 2365 minus 750. I'm about to, y'all, this is what your mortgage payment is. And I'm sorry, I'm not even sharing y'all the screen. Let me share this tab. I'm so sorry, y'all. So, like I said, with your mortgage payment, we had what? So you're no longer paying that, right? Your mortgage payment, your new mortgage payment down here is $2365, but you're paying $750. You're getting that rental income per month, right? So guess how much you're paying now? $1,650 per month in mortgage payment. Because you can just take that 750 and just apply, oh, okay. Well, I'm getting this extra $750 a month, and I'm just going to apply that to my mortgage payment. I'm going to use that to pay my mortgage because it's just an income now, right? So when you do your taxes, you put that you're getting that rental income, right? It's just the income, okay? So now that you're getting that, you can put that and apply it to your mortgage. And look how much you're making. Look how much your payment is. You now paid off all of your debt, which helps your score increase even more, right? You probably paid, let's say you put in on this rental property, you didn't put the whole 120,000. Let's say you went in and say, hey, I only put 60K in. You can go buy another rental property with your other 60K, right? And let's just say it's the same thing, okay? So let's say you use that again. That's another, let's just say 500, right? Off property number 2. Let's bring it down here. And this is what I want you to understand, homeowners. This is the power you have in your hand. But do not be so scared, okay, to refinance when you know there's money to be made. This is why you can't be scared. This is minimum risk. This ain't even your money. This is tax-free money. Now what your payment is per month. And this is even if you just decide to put it towards that. This is what your mortgage payment is now. All right. And this is net income from rental number 2. Rental number 1. I just wanted y'all to see these numbers because these are real numbers. This is why this strategy has worked for us and our clients, because this is real. This is real. This is true. That's your new mortgage payment. So how much are you saving? All right. So your original payment with your debt was $1,940. Remember? Because we had a mortgage payment of $1,040. That's based off $150,000 loan, right? $150,000 loan. Your mortgage payment We just used, we just used this, right? We used just the mortgage calculator. It's not based on anybody at all, right? We're not doing any rates or increase or anything like that, right? We're just punching in some numbers. But you're paying 19,000. This is what you're paying for your debt. 19,400 a month for your mortgage payment and your debt, right? So, your debt is canceled because you used this, right? We used this 140,000 of tax-free cash to pay off your debt. So you no longer have this debt. So this is what I want you to see, the power of being a homeowner and how you can leverage the equity you have in your home. So you went from 1940 to now paying 115 a month. How much is that, y'all? How much is that? Let's do the math. 1940 minus 115. Okay. That's $825 saved per month. This is real. This is what I've done for over 10 years. This is all I've done. Leveraging real estate. This, if you're a homeowner, this is the easiest and quickest way. Now, let's say you say, I don't want to use my mortgage. Okay. You can use a line of credit. Same difference. But the point here is leveraging what you have to build income generating assets. Because all these properties get paid off. Guess what? Now you're getting all that rental, minus your taxes and insurance. But now you're getting more than $750 a month. And look how much you saved. That's how much you saved. I'm sorry, y'all. That's how much you save per month. That's the power of real estate. Whether you want to own or not, whether you are a homeowner or not, this is the power of real estate. Now, this last part, I want to tell you, every property is not created equal. Okay. So I'm going to tell you that now. If your wheels are spinning right now, like mine is, boy, I tell you, I love doing this because this is the minimum, like this is the least amount of risk as you can get in. Least amount. If you don't want to do credit, business funding, anything like this is the quickest and most minimum way to get in. You being a homeowner, allowing that equity to build. You live in that home. You decide 1-2 years, all right, I'm going to move again. And you repeat that process. Your equity builds up. You do this very thing. This is the most minimum way to get in and still save money and still have 2 properties bringing you in income. 1 property bring you income. That, my friend, you're saving. All right. So let's see what that adds up to, y'all. All right. So if you're saving 825,000, what is that per year? Okay. That is 9,900 per year. You're saving. Okay. Saving. That's how much you're saving. I want y'all to get that. Now, here's the last part. Every home or every type of property is not created equal. And I'll share this with y'all. I'm going to call this the equity play. This is not a play. This is a strategy, but we're going to call it the play. All right. I'm going to put this in the group in the Wealthy Family Network. 7 days free, y'all. Stop playing. Y'all playing. Stop playing. This ain't even. Stop playing. Okay. 7 days free. Now, every property is not created equal. And this is the last part I want to get on, and I want you to understand this. There is, we're just going to say 3 types of homes, right? 3 types of properties. We got mobile and manufactured homes. We have single family, and then we have multifamily. Now, I'm not going to go into like apartments are considered still multifamily, but that's more of the commercial. You can still buy up to 1 to 4 you can buy up to 4 units, which is a quadruplex, with an FHA loan, with a conventional loan. Okay, so that's all we're going to talk about. 1 to 4 units. Okay, I'm not going to go into the bigger units because that's a whole nother ball game. That's dealing with cap rate and all of that. Okay, we're not going to do that today. Your mobile home, my friend, it is not going to increase in value, if any, like a single family residence. Now, I don't know why. I didn't make the rules. This is even for prefab. Okay, prefab. So if you're going this route, just know that yes, you may can pay it off quicker. Yes, you may can get a home for a lesser value in terms of purchasing, right? So you may can get a mobile home or a manufactured home for under 100,000 and be able to have it on land and do all these things for less than 100,000. But the land really is what's going to increase the most, right? So in California, those mobile homes they are sitting on $1 million land. That's why those mobile homes are worth millions of dollars, not the home itself. It is very hard to get an investor to refinance manufactured homes. Okay, it's very hard to pull cash out of a mobile manufactured or prefab home. But this is a great way for you to get in if you have the cash to be able to put one on a property and get it rented out very quickly, right? Because we have manufactured homes. We have those too. But we know that the value is not going to increase as much or if as any as a single family residence. Okay. So I just want you to take that into consideration. It's less to enter the game of investing, but it may not ever increase in value. Okay, I just want y'all to realize that it may never increase in value, if at all. Okay, now this ain't, I'm not, like I said, we have manufactured homes, we have mobile homes. Hell, we tried to buy one as our first house and couldn't even qualify for it. So I'm not prejudiced against that at all, right? That's a great strategy. You can get in really very quickly with manufactured homes, okay? And be able to rent it out. But just know that you can't really use that as a strategy to be able to pull cash out and to leverage it and move forward. It's not going to happen. Single family, okay? Single family. This is where everybody's at, right? No, I don't want y'all to restart my computer. No, they're talking about restarting my computer, y'all. So if it cuts off, I will come back on with a short video explaining this. But what I want to just say is you can still be able to purchase multifamily 1 to 4 units. This is a quadruplex, triplex, or duplex. Okay. That's what multifamily is. You can live in one and rent the others. Okay. So that's a hack that can go ahead and get you started. And you can still use FHA or conventional for that. Single family, you can live in it and build equity or rent it out. Right? Now you're going to earn more with a multifamily because it's simply more units than a single family, right? But it's all going to be determined on location, things like that. So everything isn't built equally because a multifamily unit, you can leverage the other units for qualification, right? To qualify. Single family, if you're buying it for yourself, then they're going to buy, like I said, off your credit and your income. Okay. So that's why I said every home, every type of property is not created equal. So you want to know, where can I start out first? That's going to best help me out. Now, I had a friend asked about tiny homes. Here's the difference with tiny homes. Okay. There's two things with tiny homes, okay? Let's talk about it. Depending on the size and what you do, it can be considered an ADU, which is an accessory dwelling unit, which is not considered a home, or it's just a small house. Now, this can also fall into manufactured homes. So, depending on how you want to, let's just say 3 to 4 now, since I say that. So, that's going to play a role in your strategy and your investment strategy overall. So, the type of properties, how much you want to make, the location, where you are currently, where's your credit, where's your income, what money do you have access to? All of that plays into how can I really minimize my risk and get started in real estate? Now, I'm about to do a shameless plug. This is what we go over in the Wealthy Family Network, which is why the 7 days is free for you to put this plan together with me, so we can really see how you can maneuver for the next 3 to 5 years. So you can set yourself up for retirement. So you can make sure you have income coming in. So you can make sure that you're buying the properties that's going to make sense long term. Okay? So that's why I want you to understand that all types of properties are not created equal, but in order to minimize that risk, you got to know where you are right now. And that right there is going to determine how you actually get started, right? So so that's going to determine how you can get started, okay? Depending on location, what is your risk tolerance? What is your property? Where's your income at right now? What are you looking to do? How many properties do you want? How much income do you want? Like, all of these things, it may sound tedious, but my friend, I promise you, if you lay the foundation and the groundwork first, it's going to allow for you to be able to determine your steps and save you a lot of money and make you a lot of money. But you got to first determine, okay, if I'm going to move this way, is this the best position for me to do that? And that's how you minimize your risk. You're going to minimize your risk by knowing where you stand now and how that's going to allow for you to move and make that next step to start actually investing in real estate. So if you don't have the cash, maybe business funding is the way you need to go first, right? If you have a home, if you have equity, maybe that's the way. Maybe you have a great credit score, but you don't have the cash. Funding, right? So there's so many different ways that you can get in real estate that will allow for you to understand right now, what is my best move? But if you're not talking to someone that has the expertise to be able to lay that groundwork for you to give you a better idea, then I promise you it's going to be very hard for you in terms of understanding what is the best move for me. Because some things may not be the best move for you at this time, right? But if your heart is set on one thing, then that's your path, right? And you got to understand, okay, what does this look like as a whole? Okay. So if you want to be able to put your plan together, know where you are now, make sure that you're in position to start investing and minimize your risk, then get your butt in the Wealthy Family Network. Like, that's all I can say. You got 7 days. It's free for 7 days. It is whether you make a choice or not, that is a choice. Okay. That is a choice. Whether you decide to invest in yourself or not, that is your choice. I'm here to help you. because this is not about you. This is about your family. This is about leaving generational wealth. This is about putting things in place so that you can win. And if you have not done that already, and you have not spoken to anyone, and you are not around people that speak this, then you're probably going to be right where you are. I hate to say it like that. So you got to start opening yourself up to new things and understanding that everything is not out to get you. And there's going to be risk in anything. You not making a decision is a risk. You not deciding to move forward with anything is a risk. You're risking your own wealth. You're risking being able to build cash flow. You're risking your children becoming trust fund babies or being able to have a better future than what you had. You're risking a whole lot. All right. So I got to go. If you're already in the Wealthy Family Network, get your butts in there. We about to go live at 1:30. We're going to go into training today. All right, y'all. All right. We're going to go into training in the Wealthy Family Network. Today is 1:30. Get your butts on in there. Let's go. All right, beautiful boss. Like every day, slay. Bye.